We can't afford to weaken Social Security. We should be strengthening Social Security. And not only do we need to strengthen its long-term health, it's time we finally made Social Security more generous and increased its benefits so that today's retirees and future generations get the dignified retirement that they've earned.
Okay, that didn't get a huge, siren breaking news alert, but that was a big deal, what happened there. President Obama calling for expanding Social Security on Wednesday, marking a complete 180, a sea change in policy for the president, who just a few years ago was proposing reducing Social Security benefits in an attempt to reach a grand bargain with then House Speaker John Boehner on the deficit. Hillary Clinton, who last year appeared noncommittal on Social Security expansion, sent this tweet today, quote, "We can never let Republicans cut or privatize Social Security. We should protect and expand it. Thanks, POTUS." Bernie Sanders has applauded President Obama's evolution on Social Security, a move that is not at all surprising since advocating for an expansion of Social Security benefits is one of the Sanders campaign's central themes. Joining me now, Adam Green, co-founder of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee that has been working very hard to move this agenda. How did we get here?
So sea change is exactly the right word. And 3.5 years ago, the entire progressive movement was marshaling resources against a Democratic White House that was intent on cutting a deal to cut Social Security. So in mid-2013, a bunch of progressive leaders got in a room, a side room at the Netroots Nation conference. Us, Democracy for America, Move On, the Working Families Party, the AFL-CIO, and we made a concerted decision to pivot from defense to offense. We figured that in a world where the entire spectrum of debate was cuts or nothing, the most we would ever get is nothing.
Right.
So we decided to look for expansion. And fast forward to today, we have 43 out of 46 Democratic senators on the record for expansion, over half of House Democrats, candidates across the country campaigning on this, and both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders saying no to cuts and yes to their own expand proposals. So it's a sea change.
Who are senators that have, Elizabeth Warren is one who comes to mind as sort of adopting this in the United States Senate. Bernie Sanders another who adopted this and ran with it fairly early on, right?
Brian Schatz from Hawaii actually won a very competitive primary campaigning on expanding Social Security.
Fascinating, huh?
Tom Harkin, who retired but from the first presidential state of Iowa, showed what prayer populism is all about as he had one of the first bills to expand Social Security, and there were many others.
What do you think the role of this primary has been? The president, that was the president making news saying that, right?
Absolutely.
It's the first time he said that. What effect, how much relationship do you think there is between the contested Democratic primary and the president saying that this week?
I think that he was doing it to get his legacy in order. History is going in a certain direction. He doesn't want to be on the wrong side of it. But I do think it's undeniable that Bernie Sanders has, if not forced Hillary Clinton to change her position, certainly gotten her to increase the volume on positions like expanding Social Security, debt-free college, jailing Wall Street bankers. And I think that will serve Democrats better in November, especially when we're up against a faux economic populist like Donald Trump.
What do you say to the people that say this is all essentially abstract and theoretical because no Republican's ever going to vote for it?
For expanding Social Security?
Yeah.
Well, if the spectrum of debate in the Democratic Party is Hillary Clinton's limited expansion of benefits and Bernie Sanders' expansion for everybody, that is a sea change from Democrats actually helping to cut. So the fact that cuts are off the table is by itself the big game changer. Now we're in a great territory where we're actually arguing about hypothetical positive benefits, right? And our hope is that the Democratic platform actually endorses this and kind of cements it into law.
That will be very interesting to watch happen in Philadelphia, what the position is of the party.
Absolutely. Sea change.
Adam Green, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.